Hello and welcome to Being Naked. My name is Venus Castleberg, your host, and I am so excited to be here today with you. I had a friend of mine poke me and challenge me to talk about being the crazy lady and something truthfully for a very long time I have been afraid to be. I have not wanted people to see me as crazy, not have people think me crazy. Um, Essentially just don't want to be judged as being weird or different. And I mean, I can go back to childhood. I think we all can, where um, we were made wrong for something, anything, right? For me, it was my name. My name is Venus. I was unique even back then. And I tried for years to be normal, to fit in, to play the middle of the road, to make sure that I didn't rock the boat too much. I wasn't too good, but I wasn't too bad. Like, I don't know if any of you have done that, but I just didn't want to be weird because I really, really, really wanted to be liked. And what I've learned is that that's actually pretty boring for me. The middle of the road, the normal, showing up as perfect all the time. Um, let you in on a little secret, I'm not perfect. But I have tried to maintain this image for so long. Like everything. Like just if I do my work and I show up just right, then I'll be perfect and everything will be okay. And I guess there was even, being made fun of when I was young. Um, Also just was like, well, I didn't want people to make fun of me. And in a way, I didn't want people to judge me. I didn't want people to think badly of me. But it was all just because I so wanted desperately to fit in. So, do you do that? I'll ask you, because I have a very unique kind of crazy that I'm going to share with you in a minute. But I'm wondering, do you know what your kind of crazy is? Where are you crazy and unique? Um, Hello, Ruth. Welcome. And I have Facebook user. I got hearts and space. And so excited you guys are here. Hi, Marnie. Thank you for being here. Right. So, um, So, yeah, what is your kind of crazy? Where are you unique? And what if that uniqueness, that kind of crazy, is one of your greatest strengths and wasn't something that made you so incredibly wrong? But we're trained that this is the cookie cutter that we're supposed to fit in, and we're pudding. But we're supposed to fit into a cookie cutter and be a cookie and be just like everybody else that we see. And I know as women, we all have it with like the cover models and, just all that. Like, this is the way you're supposed to be. This is what's normal in this life. And you need to fit in instead of being your kind of crazy. Hi, John. Welcome. Actually, you are unique, Ruth. It's that we're taught that we should not be unique. And we should fit in. Cool. And that craziness, that uniqueness, that amazing gifts and capacities that you have, and we all have them. You know you do. I know somebody on here right now who loves the earth and the plants and the trees, and she loves being in the forest. I'm not going to name any names because she gets, but that's one of her gifts and capacities, one of her connections to something that's not normal. right? Hello, Simone, welcome. Um, I have another friend who talks to plants, right? And I talk to plants. I love my plants, but this is not the kind of crazy that I was thinking about, but it is one of my crazies, right? I love plants. I talk to them. They talk back. Believe it or not, they do. Um, so, but what like I'm like coming out of my skin right now because I'm so excited because I have a sense of freedom and release in my life to just I'm just willing now to own my crazy, whatever it looks like. And if people don't like it, cool, that's okay. And if people like it, cool, that's okay. It's not going to stop me anymore. I'm not going to hide behind this image or persona or the cookie that I'm supposed to look like to cut off my life. And I'd encourage you to maybe do the same thing. Like, what would your life be like if you were willing to be everything that you are without judgment, without a point of view, and live your life? Live your life, not based on what anybody else is choosing or not choosing. Marnie says, "Yay, me too." I'm like, "Yay." Cool. And it's not that uniqueness, that gift, that crazy is what makes you great. It's what makes you amazing. And it does, it makes you different. But you know what? Great news. There is nobody else on the planet like you. So years ago, some of you do know this story, but there's a little bit more to the story. So years ago, I became a clairvoyant medium. What that means is I see dead people. I don't just see dead people, but I can see the spirit realm. And it happened pretty much overnight when I was 30. So wasn't something I had when I was young, maybe when I was really young, but it didn't really come on full force until I was 30. And I made it wrong. Oh boy, did I make it wrong. And I was like, no way, nobody's ever going to know that I see dead people and I see spirits. And like, I'm not going to be the crazy lady. I was afraid. I was literally afraid that becoming this meant I'd be like single, alone forever with 10 cats. Um, I don't know. Whatever I labeled crazy as, but somehow these gifts and capacities were crazy because they're not normal. And yeah, not everybody can see the spirit realm. And it, it's it's really just first of all the acknowledgement of going, okay, I can see the spirit realm. It's actually not that crazy. And nowadays, it's more and more accepted because there's actually like people out there talking about it, and then there's movies made about it, and there's actually like series, and what are those called where they have people showing their real life, so it's out there. It's not that weird. But that desire to not be seen as a crazy lady had me cut it off and just be like, I don't have this gift. I wouldn't tell anybody. I'd be really selective. Ooh, Simone says houses talk to her. I love that. That's awesome. See, and when you're willing to acknowledge you're crazy, other people acknowledge theirs. It's great. So, what if you could also acknowledge you're crazy? And what gift would that be for everybody else? I wonder. So, me being willing or looking at this and going, okay, I've just been like worried I'd be seen as crazy. So what? I'm a little crazy. We all are. We all have our unique crazy. There's kind of crazy. Um, but I really cut it off and I shut down my capacities. I For a while there, I was even struggling with depression because I wasn't willing to accept my capacities. And I really tried again to fit into this cookie cutter, this box that I had labeled is normal. And that, well, one, I mean, you can feel into it for yourself. When you cut off yourself, when you cut off your capacities, when you cut off who you are, it's almost like the joy gets sucked out of the room, right? Like when you're fully being you, all of it, all the crazy, all the uniqueness, fully self expressed, with makeup, without makeup, hair messy, it doesn't matter, right? You show up all of you in any given moment with flaws and all, right? How much does that invite others to do the same? Like it's like there's so much expansiveness, so much joy, so much willingness um, to experience more, right? And then I see your question, John. I'll address that in a second. Thank you for that. So, but when you're not being you, when you're not truly choosing your everything that you are, it does. It's like somebody sucks the joy out of the room because you're not being you. So, first of all, I'd love to just challenge you to go, okay, so where am I not being me? Where am I not really willing to choose what's true for me? And this might be to your question, John, a little bit like capacities can come and go. I do know that. But I also know that a lot of times we're the ones that say no, that there's something in our universe that goes, no, I'm not having that. So, for instance, when I started to become aware of the spirit realm, I was like, I think I want to hear them. So I was in a graveyard with a friend of mine, and we were kind of playing with, developing um, my sight and just playing with the spirit realm a little bit. And I heard a woman crying outside of me, like she was right here, but there was nobody around. I was like, except for my friend who was a guy, and he's yeah. So, and I was like, it freaked me out, and I was like, I it it really freaked me out, and I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. And then I walked around the building, the church, and there was actually a funeral going on. And I realized that it was the girl that had died. She was sh and I also didn't know spirits cried, but that's a story for another day. But, I thought they were all happy once they passed on, but they actually aren't all happy all the time. They sometimes are sad too. So, but immediately there was something in my universe that was like, "No." And I haven't actually heard something since then, that fit like physically heard something since then because there was a no in my universe. So I do know that we can also, when capacities come, there's often a decision that says, no, I'm not gonna have that anymore because I one, don't want to be crazy, don't want to be abnormal. Um, or there's something in your universe that's like, that's just not okay. Like, I'm not okay with that for some reason. So I don't know if that addresses your question, John, but maybe there's something just going, okay, did I make a decision in that moment that said, I'm not, that's not going to work for me? And then we can go into that a little deeper. So, yeah, I mean, I guess that's probably where I'd like to leave it today. There was a lot in there. And um, just that willingness now to be crazy, to be seen as crazy. um, I can see and sense the spirit realm. Okay. And it's interesting too, saying it out loud that it's not really as crazy as maybe I even had decided it was. Um, but I also am not willing to cut myself off anymore to fit into anybody else's idea of who I should be or what I should look like or what's normal. I'll be honest with you, normal doesn't interest me anymore. So um, I choose an exquisite life with and all the joy and full self-expression. So I hope that was a contribution to you. I adore you all so much. Thank you for listening and watching, and see you next time. Bye. Thank you, Marnie.